Hi, my name is Jada, and today I'm going to be speaking with Brandon Pearson.
Hi, guys.
He is an author, a podcaster, and a comedian. So we just want to find out a little bit about you today, Brandon. How did you get started in podcasting?
Well, I started in podcasting because a friend of mine, his name's Lance Williams, told me that I used to make too long of Facebook posts and stuff. And I just kind of felt like I could talk it out more than anything. But when I first started, no one watched me. Just like my mom, my aunt, cousins, things of that nature. And then when I got more experienced in it, now it is what it is. So I think it was more, I got tired of typing 900 paragraphs on Facebook and just talked it out.
Wow, sounds nice. Shout out to Mom.
Yay.
What inspired you to create your podcast?
There were radio stations out. Breakfast Club was doing good. Funk Flex, Angie, Big Boy in the Morning Show, Sway and Tech.
Right.
All of those people, Star in the Morning, it were people that were doing radio shows. So when Facebook and YouTube and Spotify and places like that made it available that you could do like just straight audio or visual, it changed the game. And that really inspired me to do more.
That's nice. Can you share some of the challenges that you faced when starting your podcast and how you overcame?
No one wants to watch you. Who are you? I know that sounds so crazy, but it's true. No one wants to watch you. Who are you? I think when I started to talk about more of my personal life experiences, God, things that were altering my life, spirituality, growth, these things kind of elevated my podcast to the next level because people felt like they knew me. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people with podcasts. They do a character.
Okay.
No one cares about your character. We want to know who you are actually, the human being. So, people look at, say for instance, Breakfast Club. We know Charlamagne is going to be Charlamagne.
Right.
And you can love or hate it, but you watch it for him to be him. If he got up there tomorrow and he was this quiet, non-confrontational, unnarcissistic person, you wouldn't like it.
Right.
It changes the product. So I would say the number one challenge of a podcast is knowing your audience. Who is your niche? Who is your demographic? Who are you trying to reach?
Okay. What strategies did you use to engage your audience and keep them coming back to your page?
I have an all women's audience.
Ooh, that's hard to obtain.
I have a 90% women audience, 10% men. And women support you. That's what I'll tell you. If you're doing a podcast, go after the women. The men gonna come.
Okay.
Women, they buy your T-shirts, they buy your books, they come to your events, they support you. And men do too. But men go wherever the women are. Women don't go where the men are. You've never heard a woman say it's a lot of guys in there, I'm going in there. No. It's the men who say it's a lot of women in that club, I'm going to that club or that establishment. So it's build you a woman fan base. That's all I tell you. They work. I love you guys. All of you. I love you.
How did you decide on your topics for your episodes that you made for your podcast?
I catered them towards women.
Everything towards women.
Everything. And the man topics, I made the man topics more relatable to the average man who, it's already tough enough being a man in America, let alone a black man in America.
Right.
So when you add those two equations up, women are intrigued to know, are you emotionally intelligent? Are you vulnerable? What's your spirituality? What do you believe in? Things of that nature will start to build a rapport with a woman faster than it will really a male audience because women are so vulnerable and open. They want to know who you are.
Right.
So the more you get them intrigued, the more men will start to follow and say, well, man, that topic was tricky, but he got through it. A lot of women that come on my show, we have to talk about their past traumas. And a lot of women have been through things from rape to neglect. Men have too. But a lot of women by the age of 14 has been sexually assaulted in America. When you start to think about stuff like that, your topics need to relate to what people are going through. The average man has had a police encounter by the age 12 in the black community. you need to touch these topics that
Got you.
affect people who are like you.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So the women, they pretty much relate to you when
Right.
it comes to your topics.
And really, they want to engage in something that isn't the sexist bang bang shoot 'em up of everyday life. So the more you get them to engage into something like that, the more that they'll start to share it. They'll start to embrace it. Right. They'll start to want their friends to see it. And people always talk about haters and crabs in a bucket, but when you build a tribe, no one can hate on your tribe. It's your tribe. It's That's like true. Beyonce with the Beehive. And once you love her, you love her.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to make someone unlove somebody.
Beyonce.
Right.
Can you share some memorable moments, some experiences from your podcast journey?
I had a girl fart on camera one time on accident and the whole world heard it. Ooh. That was funny. I've had a girl pass out on the show. That was scary.
Wow.
She just fainted. I didn't know what to do. I tried to catch her, but her head hit the table. I was scared. I've had a guy talk trash about his baby mama, and then she called after the show and tell him, well, I hope you pack all your stuff and go stay where the podcast is because you can't come back home.
Wow.
And I had to take that show down to save his life. And yeah, I've had some very interesting I think the dopest one I've ever had is I got to counsel a kid on camera. And the little boy was having trouble at home. He was selling drugs, gang-related, all that. And I got to really sit down and talk to him about evolution, life, growing. I told him, I was born in 1983. A lot of my friends died by the age 16 and 18. They had funerals for children. Wow. So for me to be 40 this Christmas Day, God willing, it's like,
that's a blessing.
Man, I made it. You see what I'm saying? 22 more years than my average friends made it, Right. So I think for me, it's more or less of some of my memorable moments are helping people, and then some of them are the funniest things I've probably ever seen in my whole existence on planet Earth. She fell out in front of everybody. The other girl pooed it, and it smelled like a cookout. It was bad, like burnt eggs. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I didn't like it. I did not like
Nobody
it.
likes burnt eggs.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
So, just let's dabble into. I know that you started doing comedian work, right?
Flip, flarn, fifth.
Right.
I'm not allowed to cuss, so I can say those things though. Filth, flarn, filth.
Yes.
Yes.
So, how's that going for you? And what made you dabble into showing your spirit in that manner?
Comedy is a way. I always tell people at the end of my shows, with the world ending, I know that's scary to say, but it's true. With us living in the end times and Revelation and the world ending the way that it is, comedy brings laughter. It lightens the heart. Even God has a sense of humor. Yeah. Everybody laughs. So it's a way to ease the tension that is on the world today and make things more easier. Like, who wants to walk around mad all day? Like,
that's true.
It's good for your face exercise to smile, And, podcasting, man, like when you can sit up here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and make people laugh and stay on topic and pay attention to the camera and do all these different things, it's not hard to get on the stage for an hour in front of hundreds of people and do it. It's pretty easy, actually. Now, I ain't been in front of thousands of people yet.
Right.
So I can't tell you about those experiences, but I have been in front of hundreds of people.
Okay.
And it's not hard. They just want to have a good time. You have a couple hecklers, you just joke them. It's easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Comedy's the soul, man. Like, everyone wants to laugh. My grandmama loved to laugh. She got dementia and Alzheimer's. She can't even remember the joke. Still be laughing.
So, being that you're doing your podcasting and your comedy, is this all a part of maybe some books that you have written, or is that something different that you dabbled into?
Well, I do have a book that's almost on the bestsellers list called STFU and Live. It's about my evolution from being a promiscuous young man to being a grown man. And I won't say that what inspired me to write books was a lot of people always made it when I was growing up that it was so impossible to be an author.
Right.
And you know that. Like in our age group, they made it like that was the one thing you couldn't do. Like you had to go to school and you had to do this and do that to be an author. And you don't. Like Google is around now, the internet. Like I could literally teach people how to self-publish for free. Right. Like, you don't have to have these ceilings on you no more like you did in 80, 1990, the early 2000s. The world's so open now. So for me, I'm almost done with my second book. I just been exploring everything that's available to me that God has put in my life. I explore it. That's a blessing. Yeah, like, to whom much is given, much is required. It's the truth. So, if you want the world, can you balance the world in your two hands? Yeah. So for me, that's what it is. I love book writing too. It's fun. I get to write stuff I can't write. Girls, art where thou the water goes through the well. Can't say that to them.
Well, Brandon, I'm thankful that you were able to meet with me today and share some of your accolades with me on how you started your journey, podcasting and comedian and author.
Right.
So
I enjoyed myself. It was amazing.
Appreciate you for coming.
Love. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.